Looking for Lost Thunder singles? Check out fullgripgames.com. We've got tons of Lost Thunder stuff. Just spent all day opening Lost Thunder. We've got tons of stuff available on fullgripgames.com. Go check it out. What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. Got an exciting tabletop matchup for you all here today. On the left is myself, and on the right is Will Mantho. We are competing in the top 4 of the base Neo tournament held here at Full Grip Games recently. I'm going to be piloting a Kingdra deck, and Will has a Sneasel Pichu deck. Both very competitive archetypes from the base Neo format, and an exciting game ahead all around. This is the top 4 match. We're going to be playing a best 2 out of 3. Will and I had played earlier in the day and I was able to take the win, but we've got a sketchy start here on my side with a lone Magby. Makes the series very, very interesting, and Will just kind of gets off to the races here on his side. Now, Will's deck is basically a Sneasel deck that just plays a lot of baby Pokemon. So everybody in the deck has free retreat. You know, Pichu has free retreat, Tyrogue has free retreat, the Murkrow has free retreat, and we basically try to attach energy to Sneasel and then perform powerful beat-up attacks. You can utilize Double Gust in order to bring up whoever you want on your opponent's side of the field and just target down threats. Use beat up quickly and efficiently. Last removes all trainer cards from each player's hand, so it's just a very aggressive beat stick deck. Now, Will has an ideal bench here, and this is great. Just a full bench ready to go. I start a lone Magby, so things are going to be very sketchy for me this game. I can already feel it. Kingdra's a deck that needs to set up in order to get going. Will's just going to go in with that Professor Oak there and start to apply as much pressure as he can early on, while I sit there with my lone Magby looking sad as ever. Will attaches a focus band and then decides to attach this rainbow energy here just to go in with Fury Swipes. Not going to waste any time wishing that he could get 2 energy for a beat up. He's going to go straight in, try to end this game as quickly as possible, since he knows that if Kingdra gets set up at all, it is going to be a tough matchup for him to win. I do have energy removal and a focus band, meaning that the Magby might be able to hang on another turn. But if Will could just successfully Fury Swipes, and if I fail on this focus band, it's going to be game over, and we're going to be moving on to game 2 here. I draw another card off the top, still nothing, and this is just absolutely devastating for me. I do get to sputter his Sneasel a whole bunch, but it doesn't really matter. He flips heads on the Fury Swipes, he gets another heads, 10 damage is all I needed, and I fail my focus band. That's it. On to game 2, and we can see off the top there, I was not drawing out of that for another 3 turns, so just a really tough start for me there, starting off on the back foot in this best of 3 series. Not feeling super confident about it, but I know that if my deck can just set up, we are going to be good to be able to take this series. We can see we've got the Japanese Neo Genesis pack there at the top. The loser is going to be taking that Neo Genesis pack, and is going to be their prize. Top 4 each got 1 Japanese Neo Genesis pack. Super cool prizing there. And then the winner got 4 packs. Second place got 2 packs in our tournament. If you didn't get a chance to check out the tournament vlog, posted it to the channel a few days ago, so definitely make sure to check that out if you haven't already. Squaring up for game 2 here, I'm going to be electing to go first, just hoping for a little bit more of a substantial hand here. We start with Cleffa. That's already a good sign, but I don't have any energy to put into play. That is horrible. Will snaps down that Chaos Gem and then decides to go for the last. He's not successful, but Will doesn't really have anything going on either, which is why he puts that Chaos Gem down. Chaos Gem is a crazy stadium card that makes it so that each player has to flip a coin in order to play any trainer cards from their hand. So Will has an item finder there off the top. I've got a focus band off the top. No energy. We're just going to sit here passing back and forth. And this is crazy for me. All I need is just 1 energy in order to start flipping, in order to use the Eek. Will finally draws into the Cleffa and is happily going to retreat and attempt to Eek there. He gets a head heads off the Eek, so Will is off to the races. I am still looking for an energy, but I know that he's about to draw 7 fresh cards, so I see myself kind of eyeing up the last there. Consider going for last to stop Will from going in so quickly, but I just end up passing to him, so he's going to just bring it right back here. Tries to attach Focus Band and fails. Then he's going to try to Eek again here, refresh his hand, but unfortunately he just doesn't get it. I draw a horsey, which I'm cool with. I like the horsey, but we would much prefer a water energy. I decided to play my counter stadium now because I'd like to remove that energy from the Sneasel. I do not want this game to start ending any quicker than it needs to. I do not want the same thing that happened to me game 1 to happen to me game 2, but I'm in desperate need of an energy, and then Will just goes and just tears my hand apart with that last. Insult to injury. I already was hoping that the fact that my deck was slowly thinning out 1 card at a time was going to increase my odds of drawing a water, and the Will just chucks like a bunch of cards back into my deck that are not water energy, make me feel really bad about that. As you can't see though, I do have a Seadra and a Kingdra in my hand, so I am going to be able to evolve this thing up here and get it going. Finally top deck a water energy, and we're gonna attempt the Eek. I fail it, of course, and now we just gotta hope that Will does not knock out this Cleffa. If Will knocks out this Cleffa, I'm in a horrible spot because I just have a Kingdra with no energy, a Cleffa with no energy, and we're just hoping that he does not wipe me out. He's already stripped all the trainer cards from my hand with that last he played. So we gotta hope that things just work out for me here. He's got everything he could possibly want at his disposal again. He's got energy. All I need is just an Oak or something. Give me a computer search, an Oak, or even just heads on this Cleffa, and I am confident in my ability to win this game. Will decides to bring up my Kingdra here and just go for the beat up. He's got the double gust, and he gets 2 heads there, so he's going to be dealing 40 damage. I could deal with this. I top deck another water energy. Huge play for me, and I get the snipe, so this is great. I have both the Cleffa and the Sneasel at only 10 hit points remaining. Really good for me. However, I want to draw more cards. I desperately need to draw. So he decides to remove my water. He knows I don't have any other water energy in my hand, or else I would have played them before. So heads up play by Will there, going for the super energy removal on my water energy, hoping that he could buy himself another turn here. That's going to be really good for him. And then he successfully energy charges as well, juicing his deck back up with energy. He's got the 3 heads that he needs. We'll see if I hang on here with the Kingdra. I do. That's huge. The Focus Band is activated. We keep it in play. I've got Energy Stadium. If I could flip a heads here, that'd be huge, but I don't. I whiff the energy. Will's super energy removal sticks, and I'm not able to get the energy back for this Kingdra. Will slaps down a Chaos Gem there, making it even harder for me to set up. And we can see Will's got the heads he needs in order to take that knockout. So now Will is up a prize on me. I'm down a whole Kingdra, but I'm finally able to Eek here. And if Will just flips enough tails trying to knock out my Cleffas, then I'm going to be good to go. We see Will had flipped his coin already, so he had already attempted to knock me out. He's wasting no time. He just wants to run me off the board, win this game 2-0 as quickly as he can, but he fails that first beat up there. Pretty sure Will is about to fail a couple of beat ups. If he didn't, he would have won this game a long time ago, but I'm able to mount a pretty huge comeback here. I think I'm able to just remove all his energy from play here eventually, get a Kingdra set back up, and Will's just like, no way. We end up going to game 3 after a few turns, but let's see how I end up making it work. I've got a hand full of trainer cards, trying to figure out what to computer search away. None of it feels like a good target for computer search. I really love all of these resources, but at first things first, we've got to get those energy off of that Sneasel. I was sitting there thinking about it a while because honestly, I'd rather knock those energy off the Sneasel by just knocking the Sneasel out completely, but I decided that there's no way in my hand to get a knockout on that Sneasel. I was thinking, can I, computer search for a Magby and sputter this thing for knockout? It's not worth it since it has a Focus Band on it. If I had failed to knock out the Sneasel, it would have been too bad. So I decided to just ditch the entire hand. Honestly, I just need to draw a ton more cards here. I wanted 2 Horsey at the very least, so that Will would not be able to just gust one up and knock it out. So very, very strong play for me there, going for the Oak and getting 2. And as we can see, Will did have the gust on the Horsey. So if I had just computer searched for 1 Horsey and tried to eke, it would have been bad for me because he could have potentially knocked this thing out. We see that he goes for a Fury Swipes, though. He doesn't have the second energy for that Sneasel, so he only does 30 damage. He flips 2 heads on Fury Swipes, plus the 10 damage from the Darkness energy to do 30 damage to that Horsey. And here is where things really start to go well for me. I hit the Nightly Garbage Run, so we're able to throw the 3 Pokemon back into the deck. Nightly Garbage Run is basically an old school Super Rod operating in the same way, except I think the Nightly Garbage Run reads that you may put up to 3 Pokemon or energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. You don't have to do 3, but usually in this format, you elect to do all 3. Got a Professor Elm here, so gonna shuffle draw 7. However, when I'm done with Elm, you'll notice that you cannot play any more trainer cards from your hand after you play a Professor Elm. It's common misplay in these early formats is to start playing trainer cards after you Elm. You can't do that. It's kind of like the first supporter card. There was no name for supporter yet. Supporters did not exist in this format, but Elm kind of having that limitation makes it feel more like a supporter than most. See, Will attaches a focus band to his Cleffa, decides he wants that Cleffa to stay into play, and he's going to use another Gust on my Seadra in order to get himself a guaranteed Eek. He needs to refresh his hand in a bad way, so I don't disagree with the Gust there. However, I think that Will might have been a little greedy using the Gust on that Horsey earlier, and we can see that he's kind of getting punished for that, because he didn't take the knockout on the Horsey. In fact, he would have needed, I don't think he could have even possibly knocked out that Horsey. I think he's just softening it up. Even with 3 heads on Fury Swipes, he's only going to be doing 40 damage to it with the bonus damage output from that Darkness energy. So kind of a greedy play there, bringing up the Horsey the turn previous, but I do like bringing up the Seadra to give himself a guaranteed Eek. I go for a Lass here, and actually I was playing a foreign copy of Lass. Pretty sure it's like, I forget, it's like Brazilian, I don't know, something. It's Italian, that's right. It's an Italian Lass, but it's called Poopa, which is really funny. I thought that was funny. So I played the Poopa as the only foreign card in my deck. I think that Lass is just such a cool card. Very, very good in this base Neo format. So I thought it was fun to play a foreign copy Poopa in my deck. Will fails his Eek after I Lass him, and I successfully get the Eek. So we can see the tides of this game just turning here as I look through the huge amount of resources I have at my disposal now. And now I'm just 1 turn away from getting a Kingdra back into play. We see we got another Seadra, and I'm trying to decide what to Item Finder for. Item Finder is just such a huge resource in these decks, in this format, deciding what to Item Finder for, what to discard with Item Finder can be absolutely game breaking. And since all your resources are just so valuable, I decided not to Item Finder at all. I decided to just go for the Eek, and I decided that I could just evolve into Kingdra next turn. I don't need to Item Finder for an Oak or for an Elm or something. All the resources in my hand were just way too valuable. Will finally gets a successful Eek off himself, so he's drawing more cards too, and I have a fresh hand of 7 that I'm going to be working with. I think I'm trying to read if the focus band works on the bench, because I'm curious to see if the focus band can be activated on the bench there, because I want a double knockout. I want a knockout on the Cleffa and that bench Sneasel to take me down 2 prizes here very quickly. I've got the super energy removal, and Will is starting to feel kind of frustrated at this point. We've been very good about our energy removals this game. Every time he starts to get energy onto a Sneasel, we're able to just wipe it out. And that's the frustrating part about playing a Sneasel deck, is just you try to get these 2 energy to stick on Sneasel, you try to play Lass and cards like that, you try to play Chaos Gym to prevent your opponent from being able to have access to those energy removals, But if I could just find the energy removals I need and play them at appropriate times, it just is all bad for the Sneasel deck. And especially when I've got a 90 hit point Kingdra with a focus band on me on the bench, could just be all bad for him. Decides to go for Item Finder, Energy Charge again, and I think that Tails is just about enough that he just wants to scoop this game up. He tries it again, Tails again, and he's about fed up with it. He has wasted so many resources trying to get these energy to stick, and he sees the Kingdra. He knows that there's no way he's going to be able to take down that Kingdra without his special energy. So I remember at this point starting to sense that Will was getting a little bit frustrated, and I decided to bring up his Sneasel here and just attack into it. It's got a Goldberry on it, but I know that I'm going to need to deal with this Goldberry here eventually. Will doesn't actually have a Darkness energy on it, so he's going to be doing a suboptimal amount of damage to my Kingdra anyway. I am in no way scared of a Sneasel that just has a Recycle energy attached to it. That is not bad at all. Sneasel's beat up attack takes 2 Darkness energy, so I decided that I had forgotten to flip for that Gust of Wind under Chaos Gym, but we got it anyway, so no big deal there. And then let's see what we decide to do. We decided to, I think, just Mud Splash here. I was considering going for the Horsey's attack is what I was thinking about. Maybe if I could just do like 20 damage to the Sneasel first. I decided that maybe I would avoid the Goldberry damage, but I decided to just go in with the Mud Splash instead. Keep things consistent and just deal with it. Will, kind of seeing that he's got no way out of that game, decides to scoop things up and go to game 3. He just had all his energy removed from play, and then that turn with the special charge fail, Item Finder special charge fail again. Such a devastating turn from him. I think that kind of killed his spirits in the matchup and just made it so he was like, you know what, I don't have energy. I'm not going to be able to finish this game out. Let's just cut our losses, go to game 3, and hopefully Andrew just dead draws with that Magby active or something like that again. Is probably his best hope here, but things can just be totally devastating for that Sneasel deck when Kingdra's able to just get a Kingdra out, have those energy removals. It's all bad. Since there's no such thing as basic darkness energy in this format, Sneasel decks have to play just 4 special darkness and 4 rainbow energy. Those are the only energy that a Sneasel deck has in order to attack. So you have to rely on energy charge, which is basically like special charge from the current standard format. However, you have to flip for it, right? So that could be really tough when you end up flipping poorly. See, Will go in with the turn 1 Sneasel here. He's got the Sneasel and the energy, but no Clefas, no other Pokemon. He's got to be feeling bad about this. He's just kind of drawing dead here while I Elm, and I'm hoping to see a Clefa and an energy. I end up seeing the Pichu, and I'm just going to be happy to retreat into Pichu. I don't get Clefa, I don't get the energy, but making Will just flip in order to attack definitely is good for me. He flips a Tails on that beat up attack, so I'm able to just proceed. Item Finder for the Elm again and just play it so that I shuffle draw 7 and hopefully looking for the Clefa in the energy this turn. If I'm able to draw into Clefa energy, then I'm free to just eke for free without having to flip for the baby rule, which is just so huge. Slam down that Clefa and the energy. We got it. So we're going to just eke and give ourselves a fresh new hand of 7 while Will just sits there with nothing really going on, fails to attack with beat up again. And we can see his patience dwindling. Will is just having some very unfortunate draws here while I get 2 Seadra out into play. Perfect start for me. And I'm just, 1 turn away from having Kingdras out, going to be good to go. I see I have 1 Kingdra in hand, but I'm considering whether or not I actually want to shuffle this hand up. I decided to Elm and see a new hand. Even though I did have 1 Kingdra in the hand, I think I want to see some energy removals is my big thing because Will still has all this energy in play. So I know I can't play any trainer cards after the Elm, but next turn this could be really good. I do see I have 2 Kingdras in hand, so I am ready to go. I even flip heads on the Energy Stadium, just giving myself some extra energy in hand, and Will flips another Tails in order to attack my Clefa. he is feeling bad at this point. 3 tails in a row, and I last him, kind of insult to injury here. I see he's drawing dead. I last strip all the trainer cards from his hand, and now I'm ready to go in with Kingdra. Will top decks a Chaos Gem. Feeling really, really bad about it. He doesn't get hardly anything going there. He does finally knock out that Cleffa, though, that has been the bane of his existence, and he's got Chaos Gem in play, so he's hoping that maybe I don't hit on this super energy removal. I flip for the energy removal. I get a heads. I take both the energy off the Sneasel. We can see from Will's mannerisms here, he is not happy. I'm just going to go in with the Kingdra and start kind of hammering away at his Pokemon. No energy, no nothing. Will get Fury Swipes, and that's it. You hate to go down like this, but it has just been a brutal series here for Sneasel. I mean, the tails on the energy charges, the tails on the baby attacks, just all bad, while Kingdra is just set up, looking glorious, ready to go, no problems whatsoever. Will flips a tails to save himself with the focus band and decides to scoop it up. He's just done with it. He's flipped enough tails for the day, and he actually goes to open the pack. So he wins his pack. He opens it on the vlog. So if you haven't already checked out the vlog from the base Neo format, make sure to go check out the tournament vlog. It was a lot of fun. So crazy top 4 match there. Started off with a dead draw from me. The middle game there got some bad beats for Will on those energy charge flips, and then that final game, dead draws from Will, just resulted in a very quick series altogether. And we can see Will just not having a lot of patience there at the end. Tired of flipping tails, tired of the game, so just ended up scooping it up. And I proceeded to go on and play the finals versus Chris Fullup in a Kingdra mirror. Going to be uploading that soon. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell. And if you're in the market for Lost Thunder singles, we've got them listed on Full Grip Games now. Just spent all day opening tons of Lost Thunder products. So we've got lots of Lost Thunder stuff up on fullgripgames.com. Make sure to go check that out if you want some stuff from Lost Thunder. As always, thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell. Check out the Etsy store and Patreon stuff in the description below. Peace.